Hi, I'm Michael Urath, and I'm going to talk to you a bit about how we harvest our seeds, prepare them for storage, even how we store them over the winter. Last week we finished the last of our honeydews, and when we sliced it open, we noticed it was chock full of seeds. So the first thing I did was made sure to collect the seeds, wash them thoroughly to get as much of the pulp I could off, and then put them in a strainer and let them dry off a little bit. And as they're drying, I'll occasionally stir them to get some more of the pulp off.
Okay, so these are the honeydew seeds I've collected. I let them dry out. So now I can go ahead and put them in a bowl. So when I take them down to my basement, where I package them up into seed packets, I tend to keep a lot more than I need, but this is just to ensure I get good germination. Even looking through here, some of these seeds, I find that they're a bit on the thin side, so they're not well developed. And then on the other hand, I can see some that are really well developed. I don't separate them based on that. I'll just throw them all in the package, and then when I go to plant them next year, again, throw a handful. The larger ones will definitely show that they're healthier plants when they come out. Some of our vegetables and fruits even I found, and I found online that other people have noticed this too, that they require a winter cycle to germinate. Um, Something in the seeds process of how it knows when to start germinating, on top of getting the moisture in the soil, it needs a bit of a deep freeze cycle. I don't know how long it is, a couple of weeks, but generally I'm not using the seeds until spring. So when I harvest them fall, they're dried, put in their packets, and I go ahead and I just throw them in the freezer. So I just keep them in the door here. Um, Most of these seeds up here are what I'm planning to use this year, and the seeds down here are seeds I've collected over the past 10 years that we've been gardening. Well, actually, 9 years. This is year 10 now, I believe.
So to make these envelopes, normally I use a paper slicer or a paper cutter to cut several sheets. Okay, start off with your 8 by 11 piece of paper, and you're just going to fold it in half. Our goal here is to make 2 envelopes. Fold that in half, nice sharp crease. I've got 2 rectangular pieces of paper. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to take this short edge, match it up with the long edge, like this. And then just crease this diagonal. This is where I'm going to want to cut, where the paper is overlapping. So I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to back fold this guy based on this corner and line it up with the other edge. Doesn't have to be exact, just a guideline. So now we can go ahead and cut. Now I've got a square piece of paper. With this square piece of paper, we fold it back on that crease, leaving it like that. Now what we want to do is split this into thirds. So we're going to have a divider here and a divider here. So this is going to be about our crease here. So I'm bringing this corner in, 2/3 up, this corner 2/3 down. They don't quite meet up, so this means I've brought this one too far over. Let's back it off a little bit. Let's see where that brings us. Not enough, a little bit more. That's pretty darn close. I think if I open this up, yeah, I just pinched the corner, so that's good enough. So now what I want to do is the first one I fold it over, it's going to be underneath. I'm going to just want to open it up a little bit. I'm going to take this corner and tuck it in. So that's pretty much an envelope ready for seeds. And quite often what I'll do is I have a bunch of these made up, ready to go. So when I'm collecting seeds, I'm not having to make envelopes. They're ready to go. And in this case, I've got some hollyhock seeds. So it's a nice flower. We haven't grown here ourselves, but we're looking at adding it to our garden. So let's just scoop those up in. Quite nice and handy for scooping up the seeds. And now they're all in there. I just fold the tip just a little bit like that. Do another fold. And then one more. Just like that. Depending on how many seeds. Sometimes if it's too full, I only get the 2 folds in. So now I have a complete envelope with my seeds in there. Now, what would have made it easier for me if I actually had put the label on first, but in this case I don't have that many seeds. It's easy for me to put the label just right on here, Hollyhock 2013, and I can go and put this with my storage. So let's take a closer look at these envelopes here that I'm using. So here's the seed collection I have, where I've made the paper envelopes and I've labeled them, such as garlic seeds. Now these ones I don't think are true garlic seeds. I've never grown garlic to seed. I've always grown them to cloves. But what happened this year, it looks like all the seeds in the flower actually went to cloves. So what I've got in here, I'm going to pull this open. Are these mini cloves, unless those are seeds, but from my experience that would be more of a clove. So I've got a whole envelope full of those. Some pole beans. Under there we got coriander 2013, chili peppers, honeydew from last year, and of course we've got our flower collection here. So we got some pink gardenia, portulaca, yellow and red, gardenia, jewels of opar. This one I don't know what it was. It was a small blue flower. So this is going to be one of my trial seeds. I've got a tray. I'm going to take some of these envelopes where I don't know the names, and I'm going to have some mystery plants growing here. What I'm going to do is put a number in the envelope, put a number in the tray where the seeds are growing, so at least I can match them up. But once the flower is grown to a point where I can identify it, I can then come back to the seed packet and put the name of what it is on there. So I hope you found this information helpful on how I make envelopes and how I store my seeds, and maybe this will help with different ideas for when you want to store your seeds and how you would like to store them. Feel free to join me on my next video. I should be doing an update on the garden and how things are coming along. Till then, take care.